Hey, look at that. Dude, we're getting this down pat. We are getting this down pat. This is starting to really work now.
Well, happy show day. Everything's going well. The sun's shining here. So
it's showtime.
It is showtime because all day long it's been dreary and ugly.
Dude, oh, my God.
But that just means that nature's happy to have us back. So
exactly. Right. Well, listen, I don't have a storm on the horizon. You don't have a storm on the horizon. So
hopefully my power does not go out again like at last time. But should it, I'm in better hands for this week.
Exactly. Well, you're more prepared.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, I don't know about you, but I'm getting excited about something here.
What's that? Is there a sale on flips? On a DJI flip? Is that what it is?
And I should have got it.
I know there was.
But I'm going to be having an eye on that. But we're just a little over 3 weeks away from the second annual Northeast Drone meetup, which I still am shocked is even happening.
I can't believe there's a second one. I mean, listen.
I can't believe there was a first one.
Yeah, we got pushed into that. Just, it was muscled in for sure, but good night. That was something.
Now, I've got to ask you, though, do you feel like the second time has been easier than the first time? Or is it about the same?
I think it's about the same.
Yeah,
pretty much. I know put it this way, there's a lot more expense going into this one than it was the first one. The first one, we seem to have a lot of, help with things. This one's a little bit more on the cuff.
Yeah.
Or coming out of the pirate's chest.
Yeah.
But it's, it's going to be interesting. And Josh and I talk about it. We go back and forth, banter back and forth about sponsors and what's going on, this and that. And obviously there's been a lot of people, chiming in, saying they're sending us stuff. It's like that. So we really appreciate everything you guys are sending in, the sponsors. And, we got Jeremy's actually some promo guys doing our banner for the meetup. He's got the website set up for the merch. That seems to be going fairly well. He's added some new stuff to it. But I don't know, man. I tell you what, we're looking for numbers, people, and to pre-register. And if you can pre-register, we greatly appreciate that because Snookers wants to know.
We did have a nice surge there, but it kind of slowed down a little bit. So, and I know that there's a bunch of people that I think are coming, but they have not signed up. So I definitely want to get something from you. If you want to fill out the form on our site, that'd be perfect. If you want to send John a text, you want to send me a text, put it in the chat, at this point. I just need more of a hard count than what we have available at the moment. I know it's going to be higher than I have, but yes. And Jim, I do have you on there. So actually you're good to go.
Andrew, good evening. Hey. I know we stopped announcing the guys coming in the chat. And I don't know if you guys are for that or against that. I don't know. It's we kind of get off track. Josh and I were kind of like, what, sale on something? Let's talk about that.
No, I actually usually keep a tally up here of actually who all's in. And,
nice.
The last couple of weeks I have not, because I have been trying to keep up with the chat and what's going on in there.
See, Brad. Thank you, Brad. See, Josh. Now listen, just so you know, I was going to change my keyboard, and because I have a keyboard just for the show. And the one that I use all the time is clickety. Very clickety. Because Josh turned me on to it, and I like it. So now I'll give me 1 second. Let me go below deck. I'll be right back. But I can still talk.
And I'm the one that told John, don't worry about it. Use the keyboard you have. It's fine. But it's probably me, too, because I'm going to actually type here. And Andrew, yes, you are actually signed up. I have you written down. I think you were one of the first 2 or 3. So actually you are golden. But yeah, anybody who has not signed up yet, please, if you don't mind, I would love having your name down there for sure in some way. So fill out the form on the site, send us a text, throw it in the chat.
Smoke signals.
Smoke signals work, you know.
Craigslist ad, posting somewhere, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just let us know. We're all in. Okay, let's see.
But
much better.
But outside of that, though, I do have to thank. We have sponsors who have stepped up, and Start RC this year, I think went above and beyond. So everyone that's coming, I can almost assure you will be going home with something that Start RC makes.
Yes.
Or even 2 or 3 things. So but I was concerned though, because our main guy, I don't know what happened, but like suddenly he was just not online anymore. And we were like weeks away from finalizing everything, and he's like, hey, get back to me, blah blah blah. So that date came, and I went to contact him back with like a kind of account, and he was not available. And I'm like, okay, well.
It's like, yikes. Oh boy.
And you know, knowing the community here, I was like, someone else in this group's got to have another way to actually get in contact. You know, someone's got to have a name, an email address, phone number, something, you know. And Ron Brown saved my
There you go.
And he's like, well, I can't say for certain, but he's like, this is the contact that I just got. So
nice.
It took a little bit because it was that contact that put me on to a different contact, but we are good to go. So
sweat off the brow.
but of course we have the drone rogues are doing a little bit of sponsoring as well, I hear. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Little birdie flew over the bow and said something about it.
You sure it wasn't leaving droplets on the bow?
That may have been it, and it just actually sounded like words, but it's all the same.
Whatever, it works. It's all good. Yeah, man. I'm really excited too. I just, the deal that we locked in with the hotel, just that, and everybody showing up. I mean, the head count looks great from where it's at. Yeah. And there's always a bunch of last minute guys, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We just want to make sure. Ultimately, we want to make sure 2 things, guys. We want to make sure we've got enough food. It's Snookers the night before on Friday, and then Saturday we want to make sure we got enough gifts and stuff like that for everybody, and that you're all signed up for it and name tags and stuff like that. Because Josh has got to set up so we can fill them out at the last minute. If somebody shows up that morning or whatever, which is fine. But it'd be, he obviously likes to print everything up and get it all 100% because Josh is very meticulous with that stuff, and it comes out. Well, last year's were fantastic. I was like blown away. You did a great job.
I think I have one sitting around here still somewhere, but yeah, I like having everything neat and organized and being able to actually print out everybody's and have their name on it. Because if I got to write your name down on there, the only person that might know it when it's called might be me, because I'm not even sure if I have a doctor's hand writing. I have a 3-year-old doctor's hand.
It's running through the ER.
But yeah,
writing on the walls.
That's what they looked like last year. And as you see, that one was a specialized one there. But I have a new design here for this year's. I haven't unveiled yet. So
I haven't even seen it. So
no one's seen it.
It's a secret, total secret.
But the sooner you get those all in there, the sooner I can print them out and start actually making them, because they do take a little bit of time to get folded and stuffed in your thing. Yeah,
I'm sure Jordan loves it.
She didn't even help me last year. So.
Yeah, well, this year she's got something to do.
Someone's helping me here this year.
Yeah. Okay, Michelle.
But hey, I feel like we could chat about this a little bit more, but we have an awesome special guest that we've both talked about having on for a while. And we just either scheduled against each other and was always trying to get to some. but we finally got him. We finally
Yes.
got him, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
Super
me
excited.
too. This guy is just an icon. I mean, he's been around doing this stuff for, oh my God, more flights than I've had. But
Absolutely.
with no further ado, let's bring in our special guest. There he is, Captain Joe.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Not
Joe?
much. How you doing? Let me get
Doing good.
these correct here. Awesome. There we go.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm
So what are
doing
you up to,
as well as
Captain
can be
Joe?
expected on a 98-degree day with a feels like 114.
Boy, I don't know how you guys do it. I really don't. I mean, we get spurts of it here and there, but not like that. It's just been crazy. It's just you. I mean, you guys could be getting hurt this year, haven't you?
No hurricanes, nothing. We had a couple of tropical depressions come through, like a little
Okay.
tropical storm. A little tropical storm did some flooding.
Wow. Damn, that's crazy. Huh.
But we get a southeast wind and we get flooding. So what's the difference?
Oh wow. Are you that close to sea level?
Well, where I'm at, we're about 3 or 4 feet above. New Orleans.
Whoa. Whew,
Yeah, New
boy.
Orleans is below.
3 or
not
4
far.
feet. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's beachfront property right there. Everything
it
is
is.
coming in. Damn.
If you look at Mandeville Lakefront, it's a 1.5-mile stretch. All the homes are raised, and when they get a really good southeast wind that comes through, I mean, it's got to be blowing now. It goes over the top, and they'll get about a foot of water. That street's always shut off.
Boy, that's crazy. Huh. Unbelievable. So what's been keeping you busy lately, Joe? You been flying any? You've been
I've tried to fly every day. I would have been flying, like I said earlier, I would have been flying today if I wouldn't have screwed up a background in a football picture that I got to redo. You know, I would have been out there. The last few days I've been flying around 2 in the afternoon, which is about the heat of the day.
oh jeez.
But that's when you, like, especially on the weekend, you go to the heat of the day because that's when you find all the boats.
Yep.
Find everybody out there in the boats.
Yeah, that'd be great. Do you do a lot of boat chasing or following?
Lately I have been. The Chifunka River is right down the street from me. And if I go to the riverfront where Johnny and I go a lot, they can't go too fast up in there because they got that wake, no wake.
Yep. Okay.
In fact, about a week ago there was a party boat with like 7 girls in there with bikinis and that, and the guy was pushing them, and I was worried about getting the film. And the cop in his boat hit the siren because they were going faster than he wanted them to.
Oh wow.
He hit a siren and kind of told him, knock it off, you know. But if you go in back of Fairview Park, it's right after the wake zone, they fly. They fly there.
Yeah.
And the deal is it's not as wide. The river's not as wide.
Oh.
So what winds up happening is if you're out there with like the Mavic 3, you better be paying attention. You know, I've done it enough that I know where everything's at. And when I'm starting to do an orbit around a boat I'm chasing, I'm saying, okay, I'm getting close to the trees. I know I'm getting close to the trees. And what I'll do is I'm watching it and I see the drone and I know where it's at. But if I get around the corner right at the edge, the trees come out and you can't see it.
Oh
and
boy.
I've had several times where I've been coming sideways and see greenery in a remote.
Oh.
And when as soon as I see the greenery, I just go up, you know. And when you're doing that at like 20 miles an hour, it's like you've got to pay attention to it.
God's sakes, yeah. Not good at all.
And on top of that, you've got to keep an eye out for tugboats too, huh?
I blame that one on Johnny. That's all Johnny's fault. It's all Johnny's fault. I'm telling you, peer pressure. It was peer pressure. Nothing but peer pressure.
It was peer pressure.
Johnny would never tell anyone to actually do anything that they shouldn't do. Never tell anyone to take someo's case, you know, or SD card or anything like that.
Yep.
Y'all don't know. Obviously, y'all don't know Johnny. Y'all surely don't know him.
That's hysterical.
John Flynn knows. You know, he every time we went out there, he said, "Come on, let me use your drone and go through." I said, "No, you can go through it." But he did one day. He went through the bottom section of it.
Oh.
And I told him, and I got right up on it. I took the Mavic 3 and got right up on it and looked at it. And I said, you got 3 main wires coming down. You see, look, he said he wears a helmet when flying with me. Yeah, but I don't get around you with the golf cart. So, but I told him there's 3 main wires. I said, and you can have a vortex of wind because it's coming in from underneath. So I attempted it a couple of times with the Avata 2. Going up to it, when I get close, I'd get a wind warning. So I said, nope, back away. So this one day, and I'm just out of the blue, I'm flying. I said, you know what, let's go see. There's no wind. Let me go to the tugboat. So I'm going around the tugboat, and I'm not getting any wind warnings and everything. And I pull up on it, I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, yeah, I got a clear shot. Just go straight through there. And let me tell you what your problem is. You can make it at 14, 15 miles an hour, but don't go through it at 6.
Okay.
I started to go through. I slowed down. When I slowed down, as soon as I hit there, the thing pushed it. The wind pushed it right into a wire. And when it hit the wire, it fell. And when it fell, it's upside down. And I'm looking at it, and I said, I looked at it and went, really? Really? And I went, well, I got turtle mode. So I hit turtle mode, and the thing flipped over. I went, yes.
Nice.
Let's go. So I started the engines up, and it starts the engines, and it's working, right? I go to take off. It goes, and pulls back down.
Oh.
I stuck something in and grabbed the engine.
Oh.
And that was it. It was over with. I tried about 15 times to start it again. It wouldn't start.
Oh, God.
Nothing I could do then. It was like,
that's tough.
So it's still rest in peace from June 18th, 2025. It's in the top of the tugboat. I got paid for it, so I'm not worried about it.
Great.
Have you gotten pictures of it, Joe, sitting there, or no?
No.
Like zoom in with
Johnny
something else.
I think Johnny's brother-in-law got out there trying to get it, and he couldn't reach it. He couldn't get to it.
Oh, wow.
See it, but he couldn't get to it. And since then, that thing shifted a little bit. So it's probably fallen through further, and it might even be in water.
Wow. Oh,
It's shifted a whole bunch since we've had a couple of little major waves going through there.
God's sakes. How long has that tugboat been there? For years, or?
Well, I know I shot a picture back in 2006, and it was in good shape. That's the first time I saw it. I don't know how. I think it's been there since 2000. But the guy parked it, and he docked it right there because he owned that piece of that area. So he docked it right there, and he just wanted to leave it there like as a monument type of thing.
Wow.
People would come out and they could swim. There was actually people used to dive off of it.
Oh, cool.
And up until 2000, I think it was 2006 or 7, Katrina damaged it pretty bad. And then right after that, the people that owned it went out there one Christmas Eve and brought a whole bunch. It was New Year's Eve. Brought a whole bunch of Christmas trees, filled it full of Christmas trees, and caught it on fire.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, they were going to put them in jail for it and everything.
Wow.
But they said, well, it was their property, so and it was a big shot in the city. So they said it was their property. They didn't hurt anything, But everybody was trying to put them in jail.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that completely took the structure away from it. So now I'd say a good hurricane, and it's not going to look like that anymore. It's going to be top pieces are going to be in the water. It's going to be. Then they're going to have to come clean it up.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But that's the second Avata I lost right there.
Oh,
really?
I've only lost 2 drones, thank God. I've come close. But the Avata 2. Another day I was flying, and they had boats out in the river right there, and I was flying just around the boats, getting in between them. And as I'm coming back, I said, "Let me go fly through the tugboat again, Johnny." I'm listening to Johnny, in my head. So I come back, and the wind's too bad, and I'm not about to do it. So I'm coming back now. I've got a beautiful flight in and everything. And I'm coming directly overland to me, and I said, "Let me go back out into the water, and then I'll just swing in the front." So I swing out back over the water, and as I'm coming around, I hear ding, and all of a sudden everything goes black. And I'm like, what was that? There was a pole that was sticking up at the dock that I didn't even realize was there.
Oh, no.
So I hit the pole at about 18 miles an hour. The video on the goggles showed it getting torn apart, where it was pieces and parts flying.
Wow.
So that was a year earlier. So I walked over, and the guy said, I said, "You flying a drone?" I said, "Yeah." That was it. It hit the pole. Went, wow.
Oh, God's sakes.
And then then about a week, I went and took a picture of the pole and put the picture of the pole in the video and all of this. And then about a week later, I went out there and the pole's not there. And I asked the cop that I know out there. It was one of the cops my son knew. Madisonville. I said, "What happened to the pole?" He said, "What pole?" I said, "The one was right there." And he goes, "Yeah, there used to be a pole there." He said, "I'll find out." So I'm thinking I broke it. I said, "Oh, Lord." And now I've done confessed to it.
Yep.
So we're talking, and I leave, and I'm halfway. It's about a 2-mile stretch down the road. And I'm about a half a mile down the road, and lights and sirens. He's coming up the road, flying. I'm thinking I'm gonna pull over because he's getting out. I've got to get out of his way.
Oh boy.
Behind me.
Oh no!
God, damn it! What I did, I broke something. So he comes out and he says, "Let me tell you about that pole." And I said, "Well, what I owe you?" He says, "No." He said, "Public Works picked it up the other day because they came out and couldn't figure out why it was there. It was nothing to do with the city. Somebody drilled some holes and put it in there with a light on the top with a solar power, so they took it away." Well, why didn't they do that a week ago? A week ago, I would have lost a drone. Johnny don't believe me. Still don't believe me with that. It's like the day I caught a bass right before he got there. And I waited for him, and I took a picture of it, and he goes, yeah, I believe that. I said, "Well, smell my hand."
Oh, that's awesome. Do you get to do a lot of bass fishing, Joe?
No.
No.
I do. I used to do a lot of it. I've got a pole in the car. If I go somewhere and it looks like it's a good shot, I might take a couple swipes or something.
Yeah.
Right there on the lakefront. In fact, they got a little canal right off of Coffee Street. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a crazy name. It's not Bayou Desert. It's a little stupid thing. It's a French name. I got to look at it when I say it. So it's just a little canal, like a tributary comes in where it's a drain.
Yep.
And I was fishing in there one day. It was just about a month ago, maybe. I just decided, I see people fishing there all the time for like brim and things. So I just threw about the 4 or 5 casts. I caught a little white bass. And I said, well, I never even knew they had one in the lake. So I've had a couple of nice bites in that thing, but I've only caught that fish. Yep.
Well, that's cool. I love it. Yeah, I got to get back into it. I really do. It's been a long time. It's just, I miss it.
I just don't get up early enough to go out. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. The only time I get up early enough is go to work, and I'm about tired of that. So we'll see how that works out for me in the near future. But so Joe, you do a lot of shorts. You do a lot of shorts to get a lot of video. I mean, you get viewership that's just unbelievable in your videos. Is that what you've been doing all along, or is that something new that you've been getting into?
Well, about 2 years ago. Let's see. The first year, this is my 4th year. It was in the first year when I didn't even want to do a short. I wouldn't worry about it. And I wasn't getting a lot of viewers. So when I started doing some shorts, I found out that if you put out at a good time and you catch the right time, you can get over 1,000 every time.
Wow.
Every time. And I found out the best time for me to put something out is around 2 in the afternoon. So now I have shorts going out at 2 every day. Now it depends. If it's something to do with a boat, 900 to 1,000. Sometimes a drone will get over 1,000.
Wow.
Sometimes a drone will get 52. It just depends on how the algorithm hits it. And lighthouse, I thought that would get more than it ever did. Sometimes I don't think I've got lighthouses anymore that go over 300.
Wow.
You gotta
Really?
pay attention. So I do a lot of the boat chases. I'll put a little boat chase on there for 10 seconds, and I might get 1,000 views.
Wow.
But within the first year, I was actually putting out 3 shorts a day at different times the first year. After about 6 months, for about 6 months, I was doing that. I had them on there planned ahead of time for about 3 months. So every time I'd put a bunch of them on there, and I'd leave, and I'd have to see when I'd have to change the dates to add another one. And it got to the point where I was just tired of doing it. So I said, well, I'm going to put out 2 a day. And I said, nah, let's go to 1 a day. So I'm down to 1 a day now for the last about year and a half. But in that first 6 months, I went to over 1 million views on my channel.
Wow.
I hit under a year. I hit over 1 million views on a drone channel.
That's unbelievable.
And Tammy, that used to be on years ago, it used to be. I don't have no burner accounts there, RJ. Tammy that used to come on Thursdays, she said, I was sitting here one day watching her show. I was editing, and she said, I have a pilot spotlight. It's Joe America. I turned around, I went, you know, and she goes, I've done some research on this guy. She goes, because he's came out of nowhere. That's what she said, right? And she says, he's consistent and he's a professional photographer. And I think that helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
Because I try to frame up the shots right. I try to do all of that right. And I stay consistent. That's the big thing.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And you know what? That was the thing that when Josh and I started up the show, we talked to, I think it was those guys. It was Harmon Lawrence.
Yep.
And we talked to them in the green room, obviously. And they said, listen, the key to a show is just consistency.
Right.
Everybody wants to be the same time, the same place, the same thing. So just constantly be this. Whatever you do, make sure you do it on that day. So we haven't deviated. I think we had one issue with a replay that we were doing, but other than that, I mean, out of all the shows, we've always been consistent across the board. It's just it seems to our viewership is small, and Josh always said we'll do it just for ourselves, just because it's a good hangout. But
that's what I was doing at first. I do not put them on Twitter or Facebook. I do actually on Facebook. I do Facebook with the videos. I don't do the shorts.
Okay.
I was actually thinking about going to TikTok with them. Because I heard TikTok is a bigger audience. So I was thinking about shooting some shorts out on that, or some videos out on that. So I might play with that eventually. But if you look up a little bit further, Johnny said, I put out a video every 15 minutes. It's really hard to like you, Johnny. It's really. And the only reason he talks like that because he's 20 minutes away. Fine. I put up with it. He doesn't say that when I'm around him.
Of course not. How long have you known Johnny?
Actually, probably about 3 years.
Oh, really? Wow.
Actually, longer than that. Hasn't, because I've been flying for it was 2022. It was 4 years. And whenever the Mini 3 Pro came out, that was right after I started. That was almost 4 years now. So I went, going back to the drones, I had an Air 2, the first one. And when I found out the stats, what 107 and the difference is, because of professional photography and that fine line the FCC and FAA looks at. Before I even flew it, I got my 107. So, and I almost lost the Mini 3 the first flight because I wasn't paying attention to it. I was paying attention to it. My son called me, and I answered the call, and didn't realize I had flown it over my head.
Oh boy!
It was probably sitting right in back of me, and I'm looking for it this way. So, and I'm trying to get it to me, and I'm pushing it the other way. So it took me about 2 hours to find out where it was.
Oh, geez.
Nice and pretty where it died, So, but I met up with Johnny, and I can't remember how we met up. I think it was through Tammy's show. Tammy said, y'all ought to get together, and we got together, and we flew at the lighthouse. And Johnny didn't even know about the lighthouse. It was right by the tugboat. And I had never flown over water. And my main reason I wanted a drone was to fly the lighthouse. But I was afraid to fly it over water. So when Johnny came out, he took off with his, and I'm sitting there waiting for him to come back. And he said, "You gonna fly?" I said, "Yeah, I'm waiting for you to come back. I don't want them to interfere with each other." He goes, "They won't interfere with each other." I didn't even know that. So I fly it out to the lighthouse, and I do master shots actually. And I flew the master shots, and I'm watching and everything. I get back, and we talked for a while and everything. And he left, and I was on my way back, and I stopped down at the river, put the drone back out over the water again. Didn't do master shots that time. I did everything myself, and I haven't done master shots since.
Wow, really?
I was like, why? I can fly this thing. Let me try to fly it. And now everywhere I go is water. I was afraid to get it over water. Now I can't say I'm not afraid sometimes over water, especially when I'm about a foot behind a freaking boat.
Yeah.
And they're throwing water up at me,
Yeah.
Or like I was asking Paul Murray the other day because he was flying something low, and and I asked him what was his altitude on that, because he's about 4 feet, difference in water.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that he was above. I said, you were 4 feet when you took off. But when you got down to that river, you were negative. Because when when I flew here the other day, I was at negative 1.3.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what I had to do, I had to forget that. I had to look at the drone and then look at the subject I was shooting and make sure I didn't get below that subject.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
And that was freaking me out. I'm flying, and I'm about 12 miles an hour flying behind a raft with kids waving at me. And I'm about a foot off the water, and I'm thinking, please don't go down anymore.
Yeah, I do some flying around here at the island, and when I from the roadside, when I take off at the roadside and I go down, it's like a 14 or 18 foot drop, depending upon the tide, and I'm skirting because there's all kinds of restrictions. Like it's down to 100 feet where I can fly overhead, so I'm flying like 4 feet off the water, and I'm just ripping, 45, 50 miles an hour, but I'm not getting near any boats or whatever at that speed. I want to stay far away as possible, but I don't have a problem flying over the water, so
right.
But you've got some, Josh has got something queued up here. Let's see what he's got. There we go.
Fire this off here. Speaking of actual lighthouse and that tugboat, I don't know why the quality is so low right now. Hold on.
Yeah, it should be 4K.
Yeah, why is it not? Oh boy.
There it is.
But there
you go. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Avata 360.
Which, if I'm correct, Joe, you bought that off of.
Yeah, he sold me that bogus drone.
Now, since you've had the 360 here, Joe, how much overall have you actually used it? Is it a drone that you naturally want to actually use now, or is it sort of like just periodically here and there?
Oh, let's see. I'll tell you right now. Let me look. Tell you how many times I've flown that thing. A lot of 360, 66 flights.
Wow. That's awesome.
66 flights, 5 hours, 6 minutes. Total mileage, 255,643 feet.
Phew.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, that's like a month and a half, 2 months. I don't fly much.
No, you better get some replacement props for that. You're going to wear it out.
And you want to hear the best part? When I had, let me go back, I'll go pull this one up. Mavic 3 original that I had, the first one. 206 flights, 64 hours, right? 1,904,350 feet. That's 206 flights. Never changed the props.
Wow. Congratulations. That's huge. That's some history right there. I love that.
Yep. And it attacked me.
Yeah.
It actually attacked me, caught me on the arm, and I thought I was going to need stitches.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I was landing it, and it said landing. And I looked down at the control, and it was about 4 feet from me, and I heard the motor just pick up. And I looked up, and it was right in my face.
Really?
I actually grabbed the arm, didn't even realize it hit my arm. Grabbed the arm, and instead of holding it, I threw it.
Really? Oh, jeez.
Hit the ground and broke in about 2 pieces, and I just looked down and said, no, that ain't good. Actually, that's what I said. I went, that ain't good.
That ain't good.
And I reached down to pick it up and it had blood all over me. And I said, well, where is this from? And I found it, so I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Put it in a car. I had to stop at Walmart to get a prescription. And I had my arm wrapped up with blood on it. And the people have known me for years. And one of the girls looks over at me and she goes, what happened to your arm? And I said, I really don't want to talk about it. What happened? I said, and I was all sweaty and everything. I said, I've been stuck on a lakefront for the last hour and a half with the police. I said, you had a guy come up to me and he started mouthing off about a drone. He pulled out a knife, hit me in the arm, and I shot him in the face. I said, so I had to explain why I shot him in the face. Thank God there were witnesses. And everybody, all the customers are going. And I thought about his drone hip.
Joe, wow, that's
But he
hysterical.
got me. You can see a couple of marks like right here.
Oh my God.
Where it got me.
Jeez.
I sent everything to DJI,
Yep.
and they told me that I pushed the sticks forward. I said my hands weren't on it. It said landing. So we went through it about a week, and they sent me a brand new one.
Wow. Nice.
So we're going to courteously send you one as a courtesy.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I'll tell you what, their customer service is over the top. I just, it's like, God sakes, I've dealt with very, out of all the companies I've ever dealt with, very few have customer service like those guys have. It's just amazing. It really is. They're so good. But, so what you've been flying the 360 the most, Joe?
Well, the 360 comes with me a lot. Like I just bought about 3 weeks ago, I bought the Mini 5 Pro. I had it on sale. Now it's back $1,300 for a flying more. Yeah. But it was like $900, so I grabbed it.
Wow, that's a deal.
Fantastic deal on that.
And when Johnny bought it and brought it out the first time, I looked at it. I had sold my Mini 3 Pro, and I said, you know what? I've got the Air 2. At the time, I had the Air 2S, and I had the Air 3S, and I had the Mavic 3. And I said, I don't need a mini drone. I'm not going to use a mini drone.
Yeah. So
I bought this one, and I said, I still don't know why I'm buying it. That's what I kept saying. And I went out and flew it the first time, and I just said, oh, this thing seems like a toy. The video's good, and it's like, it's easy to grab. It's light to carry a heavy drone. Especially if I'm carrying the 360 with me, I don't have to carry a heavier drone with me.
Yep.
Right. And like I said, I've had it for 3 weeks. Let's see. 9 flights in 3 weeks.
Wow. There you go. Beautiful.
Now,
Joe, do you what are you logging in? Do you log it? You using a spreadsheet or what's your
air data?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, everything goes on air data. It gives me, because being 107, technically, if they come up to me and say, we need to see your flight records, I'll pull up
sure.
Video.
Yep.
As long as they're electronic, they're good.
Okay. What do we got? Let's see what we got here.
Well, speaking of the Mini 5 and
is a Mini 5.
Johnny.
That's with Johnny.
And again, I don't know why the quality has been starting out so bad. I don't have anything here changed, so I'm sure he'll
pop in.
Pop in here in a second. There it goes.
There you go.
Hey, this is the flight. This is where I thought I saw Mary Poppins. Listen to me. So the flight, I was out there with Johnny. We had a police officer stop and talk to us for a while. I thought we were going to jail. But
well, when you hang around with
Johnny, got a point.
Yeah, it's all about the company you keep, Joe. You know that.
That great building right there is a big restaurant.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And back here, this is Bayou Desert. That's what this is called. Going back it's off the Chipmunka River. If you look at the third boat over, the first one that's in the little bin, that's a friend of mine's boat. It's called
Nice.
Wretched Beast.
Wow. Named after an ex-wife.
I think it was. I know it's not the current wife, but she's nice.
So, Joe, what are you using for video editing for software these days?
Filmora.
Filmora? Okay.
Filmora. Now, when I do the 360, I do DJI Studio first.
Okay.
Ronnie said they actually allow Johnny out in the daytime. Yeah, you're right. Now, this is my favorite scene in this whole thing, because watch the automobiles, and I did not cross one. Watch. I timed it.
Wow. Nice.
And then here comes Mary Poppins. After this one, you'll see Mary Poppins, what I'm talking about. I said, what the hell is this? That was actually a guy fishing.
Wow.
And the umbrella he has isn't doing him any good.
The umbrella didn't do him any good. It made me think of what it could have been, too. That's another restaurant right there, too.
Wow.
But I like just coming out when it's like very seldom you see the water like this here.
Really?
There goes Mary again. I think
I
that was
was
Marty,
shade a little bit.
Marty Poppins. Marty Poppins.
Barkley, good to see you, sir.
And then this guy was going out. He didn't even know I was flying next to him. And then I tried to get these two women walking after this right here,
Yep.
because the one on the other side, man, she was hot. I couldn't get it around fast enough.
Do you get anybody breaking your stalls, Joe, when you're flying and chasing boats?
No. Now I did yesterday. I had a guy flipping me off.
Oh, jeez.
He had his hand up flipping me off, so I just kept flying. And finally, when he put his hand down, I used that part of the video.
Now, if it's Johnny doing it, though, I mean, it happens all the time, right?
If Johnny was flying next to the boat, they'd be throwing stuff at it.
They'd be throwing golf cart mirrors at it. See if they could take it down on a shot.
Yeah, I'll put it like that. Johnny called me up and told me about that, and that was right after he bought it. I mean, right after he called me. I was trying to be the friend. I was trying to be nice. I was sitting here biting my lip as much as I could, thinking, man, I feel, because I don't want. That's calmer. I don't want to say something and then something happened to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, yeah, Johnny, man, I'm sorry to hear that, Johnny, and all this and all this. He says, yeah, he said, I thought it was okay till I picked it up and noticed they had a big indentation of a rock on the other side. Yeah, that was done. I couldn't stop laughing then. I said, well, I guess I'm going to pay for that one. I laughed and laughed and laughed. It was like,
yeah, I chase a bunch of boats. I fly around a bunch of boats in the harbor over here, and as they're coming out, and I haven't had an issue yet, but I'm just really respectful and try to stay way far away from everybody. And I use the zoom a lot, but it's like I'd really like to get a little bit closer, but I don't want to mess with anybody.
yeah, be careful with that zoom. That zoom can get you in trouble.
Whoo, yeah, no doubt about it.
Yep.
You have that zoom on, and you look up, and you're bouncing off of something.
Mm-hmm.
You be looking right at the thing. You're looking right at the drone, and you look down here, and you say, "I got plenty of room." And you look up again, and because that's happened to me. That's why I don't use the zoom anymore.
Yep.
If I'm going to use the zoom, I'm going to be out in the middle of Lake Pontchartrain, where there's nothing around me, and then I'm going to zoom in on it if I don't want to get any closer to it. And then before I do anything, I'm going to take that zoom back off before I move.
Yeah.
But I don't get many people. I've only had in the last 3 weeks, I've had 2 people flip me off.
Okay.
And one was this guy yesterday. What's today? Today's Monday. Yes, it was yesterday. He flipped me off. And then last week there was a woman. She flipped me off with both hands. both of them up in the air. Like this.
I think she was trying to pull her shirt up for you, Joe, but at the same time, she
was flipping me off. Now that same day, remember I told you there was a party boat with the girls in it that the guy hit the turn. I pulled alongside of them, and they were all posing for me and everything. I just stayed with them. I did it on the side, and I did an orbit, and I went around the back. I was waiting to see if anybody was going to show anything I wanted to see.
Sounds like I got to come down to his place, hang out for a while. I'll bring the M4T and do some zooming from 112 zoom.
Yeah. But I have had about a year and a half ago, right before the Wooden Boat Festival. It was the poker run. It was the poker run, not the Wooden Boat Festival.
Oh yeah.
There was a boat sitting there, and as I was just getting all the boats along, just doing a little side, like then I was moving away. And the girls came out and they were waving. I didn't pay attention to it. One of them came out, she showed everything. So I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice it. So I get home and I'm editing and I go, "Whoa!" Hello. I said, "Man, why didn't you notice this?" I went over there and talked to her. Like, God darn it! I put it in the video. I left it in the video.
Did you get any strikes or anything? They take it down or no?
They didn't say a thing. It happened fast.
Yeah.
But and the clickbait, I got a guy with his eyes popping out and said, "She flashed me." Yeah, that's in the beginning of it happened.
That's funny.
Never had it happen since.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had anything like that happen lately. No, that's for sure. But
I typically only fly alone in very secluded areas. So if that were to ever happen, it'd be a complete shock here to me.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing I want to do right now is Johnny and I. We want to go do that little Grand Canyon. We just have to wait for it to get a little cooler to go. It's about an hour drive, about an hour drive each way. And we got to make sure it's like I told him, when we get that first little cold spell, we'll go because then it'll be crisp. It'll look better.
Yep.
But what I want to do is I'm trying to find a place where I can fly the banks and it'd be scenic, but I want to get gators sunning themselves.
Oh wow, that'd be cool.
And I know the place. I know the place to go. But the problem is it's a wildlife refuge.
Oh wow, yeah. Yep.
And I mean it's right at the edge of it. It's Bayou Sauvage wildlife refuge. And I could probably get away with it because it's right at the edge.
Yep.
I already know. I've been out there taking pictures and had a 14-foot gator come off the bank and come after me.
Woo, yeah.
Because I was taking pictures of the babies and I wasn't thinking about the mama. The mama I heard the mama coming up. I got the picture of the mama. She came out the water and she kept coming.
Wow.
I got in my Xterra and she came over, tried to bite the wheel. So I just kind of backed up and touched her with it and left.
Yeah, I'd be out of there too.
Yeah. So, but I know as soon as I get out there and I start flying and I'm getting pictures, guess who's going to pull up? A game warden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk about it. And I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. I'll get them. There'll be some place. I know a couple of places they have gators swimming around, but I just don't know if I can find them on a bank.
Now I have a very important question here, though. Between you and Johnny, who can run the fastest?
Probably Johnny.
Oh, man.
Yeah, probably Johnny. Yeah. Yeah, I got good knees and everything, but I've got some heart issues and stuff. I don't know. I don't have to worry about outrunning them. I just have to trip them.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't have to be first. You just
if I trip him, I'm good. You know? Like, bitch, he down.
Oh man!
Like, you push him and say, "I told you I didn't like you." He's a cool guy. Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm very sorry. Actually, you guys won't make it up here soon, but hopefully one of these next years.
Well, my thing is, like I said, with football, that's
right.
Opening season.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm stuck out there. You know, it's like, I mean, from now till probably mid-November, every Wednesday and Friday, starting in about a week, I'll be on a football field somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
You know, so it's going to be like 4 or 5 hour days out there, and then 5 or 6 hours editing and everything. Because I'll shoot 600-700. I usually shoot on a regular game 600 to 700 pictures. I keep it. I used to shoot 800 to 900. I used to 800 to 900. But I said, like that little kid says, bullshit. You know, that's how I feel now. You know, it's like no.
Yeah.
And like right now, just this season, right now, that's my list of players that pay me. That's what I've got right now. But I've got 3 weeks before opening season, so it'll double.
Wow.
I'll get 40 people paying me.
Yep. And Josh, the good thing is he doesn't get dirt kicked up in his face or just tries to get killed by taking photos of something going around.
I don't know what you're even talking about. I almost got hit Saturday night.
God's sakes.
3 times, I think it was. So.
Oh my God, man.
But no, it's the same as anything though. Like I've been doing it long enough. I've been around the sport my entire life. When the car's getting out of shape, you know, providing I'm looking in that area, I can usually tell what direction it may go. So, you know, and I mean, I would say with you, Joe, actually you have that too, where if you're standing off on the sidelines, sometimes the play ends up over there too, right?
Oh, look put this. The game Friday night was a scrimmage. Now I don't mind a regular game. Regular game, you can predict things.
Yeah.
A scrimmage, everybody's all over the place,
Yeah.
and it's just getting used to what they're doing. It was a blue and white scrimmage, and we got a guy out there. His name is Louis Petty, and this guy is going to be D1, right?
Nice.
And the ball comes around to his side, and I'm not where I usually am. I'm in by the players, and I'm shooting just because everybody's in my way. We got 30 officials on the field because they're all learning, and I've got to shoot around people just to get some shots. And the guy comes around, and Petty grabs him, and I'm looking at him coming towards me, and Petty gets ready to whip him.
Oh boy!
Just kind of whip him around to me. I just grabbed the camera, and as Petty got to me, I grabbed Petty and I whipped him. And I whipped him out the way, and they go flying into the crowd. He turns around, looks at me, and my favorite word out there is bitch. I said, bitch, I ain't letting you run over me. Like that. I ain't letting you run over me like that. And everybody said, you okay, Mr. Joe? I said, yeah, I'm fine. And he come over and said, man, I'm sorry. But he's instead of whipping him, he stopped because he was going out of bounds. But if he'd have whipped him, I probably couldn't have stopped him.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But I was able to grab him like this and do that. And I said, damn. And I was walking away saying, I hate scrimmages. Because I have times where a couple of years ago I had a kid try to take me out on the sideline for another school.
Snap!
And
Whoa!
When I was in the Marine Corps, I taught hand-to-hand combat at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So this was about 5 years ago, and I was in a lot. I was heavier. I can't say I was in better shape, but I saw the guy, and he looked at me and smiled, and he started coming. He was gonna miss the player. I knew, so he was still coming to me. And I turned as he hit my camera, and let the camera spin in my hand, and I grabbed him under his shoulder pads as I had my leg there, and I flipped him. And before he got up, there were players jumping on him saying, "Don't you run into Mr. Joe." So they were ready to take care of it, you know. And then I think it was year and a half ago, about not this season, the last season. It was the 24 season. I saw the ball coming my way, and and first thing I'm looking at it, and I want to get the shot because the receiver's going to probably catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening, I could hear coming from the back.
Oh
and
boy!
I used to play football, so I'm saying, they're coming from behind. Somebody's safety's coming up or something. And as I took the picture, I just turned like this as he brushed me going by.
Oh,
Whew, boy!
You know, and the official looked at me and said, "Dude, man, I thought he was going to take you out." He said, "If you wouldn't have turned," I said, "I felt him coming."
Man,
I felt him brush me.
jeez. That's
crazy. You got to really be careful out there.
oh yeah.
Most of the time, if I know they're going to definitely, I'll back off.
Yeah.
I'll get the shots and then back off. Sometimes you can't. I've seen a couple of photographers get taken out there.
Yeah.
But I try to move as fast as I can. You know?
Yeah.
You ever actually lose any gear that way?
No.
Like,
Now I did. I did. It was about 4.5 years ago. The field, this is when we still had the grass field, and it had been raining. It was muddy. And I had when I went out on those, I had special shoes I wore, take grips on them. So I was wearing tennis shoes. And I walk over to the 50-yard line, and I go boom, on the ground. I'm laying there I got two cameras, right? I grab this one here and I grab this one here as I'm going down and let myself fall. So I got both cameras, right? Coach goes, he's down. Coach House, he's down because he saw me falling. So the kids are trying to get me up, and they can't get me up because I'm sliding when they're trying to pull me. That's how funny it was. The people in the stands are going, like this. I said, stop. I grabbed the modified and everything. I get myself up. I turn around and went to the stand like that. Everybody gives me I was totally muddy everywhere. And we still had another game after that. So I did another game. I stayed away from the mud. Yeah. That was the only time I ever went down. But it was on my own.
Wow.
Now, what actual lens do you usually use on those?
Well, I've got a Sigma. It's a 120-300, and it's a sports lens. I use it on a 90D, which is a crop sensor, So it's actually gives me a 160 to 480. So I could stand on the 50-yard line and get them on the goal line if I need to. Because I've done this. This is my 52nd year.
Wow.
So when I get on the sidelines and they're around the goal line, usually I'm taking pictures of the defense when I'm that far away. When it's my offense, I try to stay closer. But when it's the defense, I could stand. They're on the other side of the field. You see me, I'll be out on the field. And I'll get out about 2 yards out in the field because I'm nowhere around anything happening. So I'm not worried about refs or anybody like that. And the refs have known me for years. And a few years ago, one of the quarterbacks on the 10-yard line got hit. The ball bounced, the ball went up in the hand. And one of the defensive guys that pays me grabs it and he starts running. And I'm standing out almost to the hash mark. And I'm snapping the pictures. And I looked up and I see the official pointing at me like this. And I'm going, and I just walk off the field. And he runs by me, right? I turn around, like this. He comes back and he goes, damn it. He says, if it had been anybody else, I'd have threw you out. I said, you pays me, man. I got to get the picture. Right? You were good. You were good. Now, I did have one ref threaten to throw me out in a JV game.
Wow.
It was a freshman game at St. Paul's High School, which we hate to go to. And he was going to throw me out because I was standing right on the edge of the line that we're supposed to stand on. He says, you need to get behind it. And I looked at St. Paul's photographer, and he's on the other side of the line. I said, Joey, why are you making me? And what he did is he hollered, hey, asshole. And I didn't think he was talking to me, you know? And he said that about 3 times. He says, you with the camera. And I went, no. And I went, whoa. You asked me nicely, you know? What?
Yeah.
And he said, you need to get behind that line. I'm throwing you out of here. I said, oh, bullshit. You ain't throwing me out of nothing. Like that. I said, we're in a freshman game, man. What's going on with you?
Yeah.
And Joey comes over, and Joey knows all the officials. He says, he's fine. He's right where he's supposed to be. No, I'm throwing him out. I said, I ain't going nowhere. He got the cops over. The cops know me because my son worked for him. He said, he ain't going nowhere. What's going on? I said, I said, I know they gave you a rope and you're trying to be a cowboy. I said, just go do your job. I went back to that, and I went back to what I was doing. I said, there's no way I'm getting thrown out of here for that. You know, I'm not nowhere I'm not supposed to be.
Yeah, come on.
You know, leave me alone.
First day with a new title, probably.
He had a white hat. That was the problem. It was probably his first day with a white hat.
Yeah.
He went over there. A couple of officials walked up and said, "Man, leave Joe. Come on, leave Joe alone. Come on." And they walked him on the other side. He turned around and looked at me. And when he looked at me, I was doing like Cunningham. You know, I'm watching you now. Now I won't do that. I won't do that in a regular game.
Yeah.
Because usually it's officials from another place. We were in a playoff game. In a playoff game, it was last year, and the white hat walked over to me and said, if you're not on the other side of that line, you're going in the stands. And I said,
wow.
Hold on a minute. I said, I'm not new at this. I said, now, I know y'all coming from up north. I said, but when y'all down around the 15, 20-yard line, I'm going to be standing here. And I walked out and got on the field. And I said, I'm not in your way. And he never told me nothing the rest of the game.
Yep. Yeah.
He was just flexing, and I flexed a little bit back, you know.
That's it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I've shot pro and I've shot college. And what I don't like about college is fine. You can get away with a lot at college. You still need to kind of stay close to the line. They'll leave you alone. But in pro, if you step a step over that thing, somebody behind you is going to pull you back.
Right.
And they want you on your knees all the time. I don't want to get on my knees anymore.
Yeah.
I stand up. Everybody says, well, you get better shots being lower than the players. I said, I'm 5'6". What do you expect? Not many. I said, some of the cheerleaders are taller than me.
That's awesome.
It's fun. I love it. Yeah. It's never been my full-time job except since 2012. I've always had something else I've done. I've managed baby stores. I was a GM manager I was a GM at Pizza Hut. You know, I was in the Marine Corps, did all that stuff. I did all of that. But I've always had photography I've used as a backup to do something. And then when my kids went to Mandeville, I started shooting all the games.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed somebody to do the team photos. And the first year I did the team photos, I was sitting at my desk cursing. And my son says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Man, this is a lot of work." And he said, "Well, you made it a job now."
Yep. Yeah.
I said,
Mm-hmm.
"You're right. You're absolutely right. I did. Now I've got it down to a science. To it's not as hard anymore, but it's
Yeah.
just time consuming. But it's not as hard."
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole deal. It's like, you make a hobby into work, and it's tough.
Mhm.
You get nothing to fall back on after that. I
You had
did
a
that
point.
years ago, and yeah, I learned that early on, back in my early teens. Was really heavy into CB radio back in the day, like crazy, and got a guy with a CB shop, and a really cool guy wanted to take me under his wing, teach me a bunch of stuff, and he did, and he hired me for a while. And I was doing nights over there, and after like 2 years, I'm like, you know what, I'm all set. I lost total interest in it because I went so crazy with it. Bigger amplifiers, bigger alternators, batteries, all kinds of crazy stuff, and big, power in them, and just all set. And I haven't touched one in 20 years, 25 years. But
Yep. Well,
yeah.
the only pictures I take basically are when I'm doing that or doing something for the paper.
Mm-hmm.
The paper in 2016. The new now AI Press NOLA is mine. I've been doing that since 1989.
Mm-hmm.
That's out of AI Press out of North Carolina. They do Today's Photography International Magazine. So I've been with
Wow.
them since 1989. I told them one time that I was having problems in New Orleans getting credentials because they're saying, "Well, you're out of state. You're out of state. We want local people." So I said, "Can I make it AI Press NOLA?" And they said, "Yeah, go ahead." And they gave me a website. Got the name. It's my rights, all mine now. And AI Press NOLA, I still work for them a little bit when they need me. And now it's been a fixture. It's been a fixture for a long time. The AI Press NOLA. So people know it. I just sent the stuff in for Southeastern. I might have the credentials in the mail downstairs today because they said they mailed them out for the season. So I'll be out there with Johnny messing with me again. Yeah. So a week from Thursday is their first game. I'll be on the field, and then
Nice.
Friday we have a game Friday night. So that'll be a Thursday night, Friday night. So then when the following week will be Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So it'll be 3 days a week during football season because of that. But it's fun to go to the college games because it's such a different level when you shoot college. And there's only about 6 players from the North Shore area that play for them. And I like to take a few pictures when they get in there, and I just stick them on my webpage out there, my AI Press NOLA webpage. They're saying, shots from their game like this. And I've shot Southeastern for a few years, so they know me well. And what I like about that is like, we get in trouble for saying it. The difference in the cheerleaders and they're adults basically. It's not just So when you're out there, they act different. They act all of this, and you could act a little different.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because we had a girl that used to come up to me in Mandeville every time I shot her basketball picture, and she said, "Mr. Joe, am I pretty?"
Oh, jeez.
And I'd look at her, and the coach was female, and coach would look at me, and I said, "Y'all all beautiful. Y'all are all beautiful." And she said, "I'm asking you about me. Am I pretty?" I said, "Y'all all beautiful." And coach said, "Boy, you're diplomatic." I said, "I can't say anything else."
Exactly.
No way, right? And the difference in that in college is last year I went to a game. Johnny he taught me how to go in. So I went and got the credentials, went to the game. And I was standing by the dance team. And one of the girls sitting down, and they were all dancing, but she was sitting by herself. So I tapped one of the girls and said, "Is she punished or something?" I said, "Is she punished like that?" And then I noticed she had a thing for diabetic on her arm. And I said, "Oh, never mind." I said, "I thought she was a bad girl." And I said that, and she looked up at me when I said it, and she smiled when I took the picture. She saw me taking a picture. So she said, "What did you say about me?" I said, "I thought you were punished. I wanted you a bad girl." She goes like this. She goes, "I can be." Took my breath away. So then at the end of the third period, they doing their little dance and that, and I'm shooting pictures. and she's looking right at the camera, cutting up. And she comes up to me, rubs her hand across my chest, and says, "I told you." So then the next game we went to, I tried to not say anything. She walks up to me and grabs me by the back of the shirt. She goes, "You want me to be bad again?"
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah.
No, baby, we're good. No, we're good. So it's like, no, definitely we're good.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
But it's fun. That's the whole thing. You make Southeastern fun games, because a lot of the players I've shot all through the high school with Ogerons. Ogeron from the name of Coach LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Ogeron was there. His son played. His sons played for Mandeville. When they were playing for McNeese and they were playing against Southeastern, Cody looked over at me, and he looks at me and he smiles. And I said, "Okay, the ball's coming this way," like that. And I told, and I was standing by the dance team. I told the dance team, "Y'all better back up a little bit. The ball's coming this way." They looked at me, and sure enough, Cody comes around my way, and he's running towards me, smiling the whole way while I'm taking his picture. Right. So now the girls say, "How did you know that?" I said, "Because I've been shooting this picture for 5 years." I said, "When he's smiling, it's coming his way." So now every time I'm getting ready to shoot a picture, "Can we see what you're taking?" Now I had the girls hanging over my shoulder trying to look at the pictures all the time. So it's like,
hey, Josh, have you had that happen to you at the racetrack?
I've not. No.
Okay.
No, I've not.
All right, just checking. Just checking.
Not yet, anyway.
I'm doing research. I'm doing research. Joe's got 107. You guys both have photography going on, so I need to get something going on other than just whatever I'm doing. So.
Yeah, you gotta have fun, man. You gotta have fun.
That's it. Oh man. So, Josh, did we miss anything? I mean, how did we?
The only thing I did want to say, and I know it's been in the chat there a lot. Minefield is happening.
Yeah, man.
This weekend.
I was hoping to have actually headed down there this year. Unfortunately, it just didn't actually work out that way. But it looks like it's going to be an awesome time. From the chat, it looks like there's going to be an awesome group there, and I wish I was going, man. I truly do.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I'm definitely not going to make it this year. That's for sure.
And Johnny's leaving Friday, so I get a 3-day break.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Where are you going flying, Joe?
I'm flying.
I know, I'm sure.
I'm trying to think. Let's see. Friday, I got a scrimmage against Jesuit. Saturday, there's nothing. I'll be probably on the river somewhere.
Nice. Yeah.
I may go back to the mouth of the river if it's a really hot day. Go to the mouth of the river and see what they've got down there. Actually, it might not be. I think they're getting ready to close it off all week. But,
really?
Yeah, they're putting a culvert in, to a drain on the marsh side to run it in so it doesn't flood the road.
Oh wow!
They're trying to stop that, but they said Monday through Friday that area was going to be closed off this week, so it's probably closed this week. Friday and Saturday should be open again. But at the mouth of the river, right there by Lake Pontchartrain, they sometimes have 30, 40 boats in the water. Near the shore is only like a couple of feet. So they all anchor out there, and they all stand out in the water, and they just hang out,
That's
so
cool.
I take the 360 or the Vada and fly all in between them and stuff like that.
Nice. That's cool.
That's kind of fun to do.
I am extremely envious of all of you guys that have places to fly like that. All of our places up here that have boats, or there's any large body of water up here, the state has deemed a state park. So it's like I have no way to do it. Like there's some beautiful areas up here that I'd love to actually fly, but you can't. Just can't do it.
So state of Louisiana lets us fly in state parks, which is a good thing.
Wow, do they really?
Awesome. Wow.
Yeah. We had I was waiting on, I was out there by myself. I wasn't waiting on Johnny that day. It was at Fairview Park. It's right in my area. You got Fontainebleau State Park. You got Fairview Park. It's all within about a 5-mile range, about 8-mile range either way. Then you got the Tchefuncte River that's right there by Fairview. You get Lake Pontchartrain that's right there, Fontainebleau. But I was in Fairview, and I was flying the Vada 2. And and an automobile pulled up, and I was coming back that way, and I noticed a woman walking towards the bathroom and going there. And usually I go back that little pavilion and go through it and everything. So I said, well, I'm not going to go through it while she's there. So I went around it and everything. And when I came back around a couple of times, here she's walking out and everything. And she's on the phone and she's hollering to her husband, who's flying the drone like this? And another woman had pulled up, and I didn't even know it. And she said, that guy's sitting over there. So I'm flying around, and she's calling, and all of a sudden she says, yeah, we're right here like this. And I'm taking it in my hand, and I'm sitting there, and they're talking. And I look up, and the ranger comes up and pulls up. Two rangers pull up. Mm-hmm. And she says, yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, he's flying a drone. Well, what's the problem? Well, I was in the bathroom, and he looked over at me, and I said, what's the problem? She said, she said you were flying a drone. I said, yeah, I'm flying about it too. What's the matter? Like that. And he says, well, what's the problem? She said, well, I went to the bathroom. And he actually looked at it and said, well, there's no windows. Did he fly it inside there with you? Like that. And she said, no, he's flying in a state park. And she goes, he could fly in a state park. And I said, I'm Part 107. You need to see credentials. And he said, no, I'm good. I'm good. Like that. So automatically, mm-hmm. I've always said you own the place and you're out there doing any kind of work. So I reach in my pocket, I pull out my credentials, right? Like that. And I pull it out like that first, and I go like that. and she looks over at me and looks at him. She goes, oh, y'all just going to stick together. So I did that on purpose. No, I really did. So he goes, well, I don't get to see him. He said, what kind of that? And the other one's talking to me. And the husband went and got in the car. He already knew he was in trouble. You can hear it now. So she says, ma'am, listen, he could fly in a state park. Unless he flew in there behind you, there's no problem. Well, he didn't do that. He's just flying around. Okay, let it go. So she gets in the car, and she says, I can't believe y'all just let people do that. She gets in the car, starts to drive off. And he looks at me and says, look at the plate. The plate was New Jersey.
Oh, jeez.
That was about the time they were seeing drones up in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Right? Yep. Which were airplanes, right? Yep. So the other woman, I don't know where she was from, she starts mouthing off as she's walking off, and one of the rangers says, ma'am, listen to me. He can fly in a state park. Shut your mouth. If you don't like it, get in your car and leave the state.
Wow.
Because we don't want people like you here. So she gets all mad. And the husband says, come on, walk. She walked. So they walk off. The other one, she was mouthing off as they were driving off to the other one. And they came over to me, and we flew a couple of flights, and they just sat there with me,
That's awesome. I love
it. But you got to walk in, like, if I'm going to fly somewhere, like if I do a Mardi Gras parade or something, like in New Orleans, there's a TFR. You're not going to fly. Forget it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Over here in Mandeville, they don't have one. Or Slidell, they don't have one. Now, Slidell will say no drones. But if I want to put a drone up, if I'm taking pictures, I go out there with my credentials. And I got my press credentials on, my shirts on, and all this. And I walk up to the cop and say, I know you'll say no drones. I want to put a drone up right over here. Is that right? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I don't ask. I don't. I say I'm gonna put a drone up right here. It's okay. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't.
And that's that.
I'll tell them like, hey guys, I'm just letting you know I'm putting a drone up right here. It's gonna be right here over the ditch. Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Own the place. Go tell them you're gonna do it, and usually you're all right.
Yeah, it's I'm more of and I think Josh is the same way. We're more stealthy guys. We're literally all the way in the back, whatever. We'll launch out, do what we got to do, fly, get the flight in, and come back in, and not even blink an eye about whatever's going on.
But be nice to people though, because if you have
always
like I wasn't being I wasn't gonna be rude to the person, but I said let me egg it on a little bit. Let me pull out the badge. I already said that. Let me. So that's me. That's just me from being a Marine Corps days. But we had right there on the riverfront a few weeks ago. There was a storm out towards the east. It was a storm over Johnny, but I didn't realize it was a big thunderstorm. I didn't realize there was one in New Orleans. So we were right in the middle of the vortex. So the wind hadn't really hit yet by me, and I was doing a hyperlapse of the bridge. And all of a sudden, the wind started picking up, and I got the Air 3S out there. And I'm looking at the Air 3S, and it's starting to tilt sideways.
Oh, boy.
And I've got about 2 minutes left in this hyperlapse. I said, "Oh, you're good." And I'm watching. Because I'm not really worried about it. If it starts moving, I'm gonna move it. You know, so I'm watching it, and a couple walking with a dog, walking by, and they said, "You flying a drone? Is it okay in the wind like this?" I said, "Yeah, I'm watching it though." And I'm just sitting there, and finally, hyperlapse finishes. So instead of just coming back, I back off a little bit, and then I start coming back. I wanted to get that back off shot first.
Yep.
I'm coming back in, and it's flying like this, sideways. And they're looking at it. So, oh man, wow, is it going to be all right? I said, yes, fine. So I bring it in over the boat that's parked right there, and I bring it in, and I bring it right down, right in front of the pad. And they're standing right by me, and I just bring it right down and land right on the pad, right?
Yep.
And I turn it off. I said, let me wait. Now we got whitecaps on the river.
Oh, geez, wow.
And I had never seen whitecaps on the river, so it was about 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Mm-hmm.
The woman said, "That's amazing how you just brought that back and just landed it right here." I said, "It's a good drone. I can trust a drone." So, and it was Air 3S. So she goes, and I'm talking to the husband, and I'm giving him a card and all of this, and we're talking, and he's asking me questions about it. She goes, puts a dog in the car, and she comes out with a little basket, a little Tupperware basket type thing, and she goes, "Hey, we're going to a party right now. Here, try one of these." She opens it up. She's got barbecued ribs in it.
Oh, jeez.
She hands me a barbecue rib. I said, "No, I'm good." She goes, "No, you got to try one." So I took a barbecue rib. So for talking to him, I got a barbecue rib. So,
That's awesome.
I'm a nice guy.
Oh, man.
If Johnny would have been there, they would have never give us a rib. No.
Yeah, no. They would have been asking to get paid.
Yeah.
Oh man! So Josh, you got anything else for the meetup or minefield or anything? I don't know. I think we've hit everything a couple of times, and
I think we have here. So I don't think I have anything that I haven't mentioned that I can think of. That means like about 2 seconds after we're off the air, I'll be like, "Oh,
forgot this."
But all right. Well, Captain Joe, listen, it's been a pleasure to have you on. We've been bouncing things back and forth, and we got filled up so fast. We're sorry we didn't get you on sooner, but it seems that Josh,
I appreciate it.
We ganged up at the same time, and we had a fantastic show. It was great.
You caught me at the right time. That's what you did.
Before season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
But. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, checking us out, and as always, you know what? Fly safe and have some fun out there before we have to worry about anything. Let's just get out there and do some flying.
And be safe. Be safe.
Yeah.
Check your drone before you fly it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always make sure you got return to home. Make sure you check your battery. Make sure the cells are right. And the biggest thing is what I do. The first thing I do is I check the props as I'm opening it up. I look at it, and as long as the props look like they're decent, I'm fine. And then the first thing I do is I check my return to home altitude, and then I go down and make sure I have return to home, and then I clear the internal and clear the card.
Okay.
Because you can have a glitch in internal that's going to do something, and it'll fly on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just always there's about 4 things to do. Don't be in a big of a rush. Do that first.
Yeah. No, absolutely right. Absolutely right.
And even if it's an area that you've flown 1,000 times, look it over, because something could have changed. Something could have been added that you weren't expecting.
So what you're saying is you saw that video down at I did a couple weeks ago that I was going down a little bayou, and they got a black cable sitting right there, and I know the cable's there, right? And all of a sudden I'm flying, and I go, "Oh!" I actually, the 360 had a little scuff on it.
Yep. And it's so easy on that drone because, again, the field of view looks like you have 1.5 miles, and you have about 1/8 of an inch.
I actually, in the video, when I go to that part, I slow it up and show you how close I was. And if you look at it real good, it goes.
Yep.
And when I touched it, I went, "Oh, Jesus." And I was looking right at it.
Yep.
And I said, I didn't think I was that close to it. Yep. And then Saturday, the same thing. I'm over the Pearl River, over the train bridge. And I said, I know they got some wires right here. I got to find them. And I looked up, and there's a wire right in front of me. I just stopped the drone. I just brought it down. I went under it. I know the wire's there. I just can't find it.
Yep. That's it too with them. And they will come up on you fast.
Pooh, yeah.
You don't see it. You don't see it.
Real
You don't
quick.
see it. All of a sudden, it's about 1.5 feet away, and you're like,
Because that wire almost got me a couple years ago. I was backing in sideways, and when I came in sideways, I looked up and I had wires all around me.
Wow.
And I knew they were there. It's just I thought I was a different place.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I could see it. I could see it, and I still thought I was further out.
Yep.
You know, you got to be careful
Yeah. Got to be careful. Got to know the surroundings for sure. But
and have good insurance.
yeah, State Farm. Got to do State Farm.
So I got to
But-
stay focused.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for in the chat for hanging out, and we appreciate it. Obviously, have a good time this week. Fly good. Get out there and have some fun, one way or another. And if you can't, if you got bad weather, make videos, post it. Even if it's not 100%, just post it. Get it out there. Just get it off
Don't
the
be like
cards and
me.
let's do it.
don't be like me.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I posted a video this week. I did
Two, I
okay.
think.
Yes.
Two, I
Yep.
think, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
it was a rainy day, and I didn't do DaVinci. I kind of dumbed it down and went to iMovie. But hey, it worked. I got it out
That
there.
worked.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Use the tool that works best at that instant. So
Exactly. But all right, everybody. Again, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
I
Kevin
appreciate
Joe,
y'all having
you're
me.
the best. Thank you so much. It's been a great show.